Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, welcome to Jack Rams Online on Mega Artist Media. And this is another special episode, man. And we are somewhere. I'm with someone. Her name is NTSIKWANE RAPHESU, right?
Yes, NTSIKWANE RAPHESU.
Before, I always forget to tell people to subscribe to my channel. Hey guys, please subscribe
to the podcast.
The views ra di bona, ra di leboga, re gopela le subscribing but from the
yes.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate everyone who watched the previous episodes, who has subscribed and recruited their friends to come and watch all our episodes. And this is the 12th episode.
What?
And we just started like 2 months ago, eh?
So it's like officially almost a season. A season king. 13.
13.
Some get 12, some get 13. But 12, 13 there. So you have a packaged season now. So we can close it. You're closing with me. Then next season starts.
So why are we here? Why are we shooting here? Where are we in fact?
Okay. We are at Mercedes-Benz, Polokwane. For those of you who cannot see the luxury vehicles behind us, we are doing this thing.
Yeah, this is what? An S-Class?
What's all
This is a C-Class.
Like Benz, hey?
And I don't know anything about cars.
I know.
Don't even think I know anything about cars.
Like you are like this friend of mine are... I know men are supposed to know cars, but na driver ya no starter. Noising and I don't know where to start. Like it's like literally I'm clueless.
Yeah, so why are we here?
So we are here because we are hosting NTSIKWANE's Car Boot Unplugged right here on the 2nd of December. More Mercurius, Mercedes-Benz Polokwane. Yeah, it's a music performance from the boot. We have artists who play instruments that are sitting in the boot, and the audience gets to come through and watch us play our music, do our thing in the boot. Car Boot Unplugged.
Unplugged.
Yes.
How did you conceptualize the idea? How did it come about?
Ooh, you know, it really wasn't conceptualization or concept. It was truly born out of necessity. Back in 2017, actually pre-2020 times, Polokwane doesn't have a lot of live music venues for us artists. So I was getting frustrated approaching venues. I won't mention names, and they keep saying, no. We are a DJ place, we hardly have live bands, that type of a thing. So ultimately I was like, you know what, I'm not the kind of person that waits for things to happen. I want to use what I have to create what I want to create. So I said, okay, koloi, speaker sa battery, mic, katara. Why don't I just go park somewhere, sit in my boot and play, and have people who come and watch it. So immediately I had this mentor of mine, Levi Mamabolo, hey Levi. He told me one thing, Ari. You know, if you have an idea and you don't move on it within 3 days, forget about it. So immediately I made a point to text some of my friends and my followers. Good guys, come through. I'm doing back then a car boot session. I'm doing a car boot session. I'm gonna play for you guys. Will see. So that's how it started. And ultimately, after that session, I bumped into somebody in town. Ari, yo, NTSIKWANE, you know, I loved your unplugged session last week. Unplugged. What are you talking about? No, that boot thing that you did. That's when the name clicked. Car Boot Unplugged. Because I was just like calling it Car Boot Jam, Car Boot Session. Sure. So the Unplugged came from that guy. No, I loved your Unplugged session, Ko Flora Park. So that's how it was born. Basically out of necessity. There were about maybe 20 people there who came through. Ultimately, so they ultimately also were sitting in their boots while I'm in my boot playing for them. So.
Yeah, but then petrol. So how are you making money from these car boots things? Because you just set up anywhere and start playing the guitar.
Yes. You know, at first, things I believe in putting energy out and energy will come back because take energy.
Sure.
You can't expect to reap a tomato, supplant a tomato seed. Do you get what I mean? So me starting this thing and immediately expecting money would be like me saying, guys, I'm doing this thing already, battling 20,000 for 5 minutes. So this was me planting seeds So Hanibialo, with what we're doing now, how it evolved and grew, where it came to a point where Mercedes-Benz are coming on board. That is now the fruit that I'm reaping from that seed that we've planted.
So why did you want to change your name? I remember at some point you wanted to change your name to Ntsika. Was it Ntsika?
No, it was Kwane.
Kwane.
Yeah, I'm getting Kwane, so I was like, Kwane. Woo, woo. No, you know what? Back then, I was really, I wasn't sure of myself. You know, I didn't have a story yet. I didn't have something that I knew for sure that I want to share with my audience. So I was using the illusory thing, name change to kind of like, let me vibe myself up, because that there was something that I was lacking within, which is solidity. I know I'm here. I know the kind of music I want to make, and I know it will have an audience. So I didn't have that yet. And funny enough, I had been in the industry at that point for 10 years almost, maybe 9 years. And still, I was feeling that sense of, I haven't found myself yet. Let me, have, the smoke and mirrors, name change, image change, and see if I can tap into an audience, because I didn't have something yet. So that is why it came from that
okay,
element.
How important is a name to you? Because I see you more like of a spiritual person, and we'll get to that part. Why is it like important for you to like have a name that meant something and that indicated that you are going somewhere?
A name is a label, let me put it like that, which is important. Who you are named after is also quite important. So back then, like I was saying, it's almost like 2020, I think maybe a lot of us, that 2020 was a huge shift for all of us, mentally, spiritually. Like it opened our eyes in so many ways. The lives we were living before then were not really authentic. We were following the norms, just society, what is expected, what is a job, what is a name, how you should, It was at some point where somebody was saying, advice was, Ntsikwane is such a complicated name. If you're going to go for the American market, who's going to know how to pronounce it? Kwane is more, it flows. There's Kwame, there's, they're already used to those Kenyan names. So Kwane will just fall into that. So like I was saying, it was one of those, because I hadn't found the spiritual meaning and where it came from, and then now my spiritual grounding, it was not even easy. It was kind of like, it didn't mean much for me to say, okay, I can change my name. It's just a name. Kanti, your name really is your foundation from where you build. Like if you watch Bana Baba that are named after almost characters who were problematic in the family, Lebwana, they almost inherit those characteristics, even though they've never met. Like it could be a child named after a great-great-great-grandfather. And then Ntatemgolo Nadia so Mwano over the characteristics, but even though they've never met. So that name carries energy. So I didn't want to lose the energy and Tsikwane.
Yeah. So you're from a musical background and a musical family.
Yeah.
And your brother is also like a DJ, a music producer.
Calypso.
I get DJ Calypso.
Yeah.
Who's older?
Him.
Yeah. Okay, it means that he's over 40 because you are not 40 yet.
He is. I'm 39.
You're 39.
Yeah.
Oh, you're turning 40.
Yes, I'm 40 next year, guys.
Okay. I see. So, do you remember the first time we met? You don't, right?
Wait. Do I have 5 seconds to think? Was it at... No, okay. I don't remember.
I think it was 14 years ago.
Really?
When you launched your first album at a place called... Now is it Industrial Chisanyama? I think back then it was called
Raging Bull.
Yes.
What?
So for people who think I started knowing you today or Nagi groupie, I'm not a groupie, guys. I've followed you from that moment because I think you sent an invitation. I came with Martin Nkwana, who was the music manager at that time.
Yeah.
And then we came to your launch of your
wow.
first album. What was your first album?
Wonderful. It was called Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And your hit song on that?
Pule.
Pule.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful
That's
song.
an amazing song.
It's a classic, right?
What's like 14 years onwards, stations are still playing it. Like literally. And not even that album. That's why it takes me a while to create albums. Only now I've just completed my third album after my current album is 8 years old. That's the longevity I want to create in the industry and for myself. Or I don't have to release every 2 years. The quality of my life, I feel, determines the quality of the work I produce. the body of work that I have now, I'm going to do a listening session for media people exclusively to listen to the music. You will hear where there's a difference between and this one. This one is grown up.
Yeah. So from your family, who's musical? Who was more into music that you think or literary inspiration from you?
My father. The side ya papa ka ke bona the musicians. I mean, I usually say when I'm interviewed, functioning there's no way it won't end in a choir. Like ultimately at the end of the function, my dad will arrange us. It's just that he's not here anymore. He passed away. But we see his impact on the entire family. Because now we're together, really together, because he was the lead, he was the main singer in the family who arranged everybody, the first part, second part, tenor, bass, he was that conductor. So Anibelo, we still sing, but it's not as close as it was when he was still here.
So if he was that influential, how did his passing impact you?
Whew, yeah. Man, I took a break. I had to take a break from the industry. And let me not even say the industry, for making music. When you are in such a dark, grieving place, because he really was my light, and it felt like now I'm walking without sight because he's not here. He was my sounding board for every single thing. He was so funny. Something now, and he'd be like, yeah, do it, it's gonna be great. Literally 5 minutes later, I'll come back and say, nah, that thing, man, yeah, but I'm not gonna do. He'll say, yeah, it's like literally, yeah, he's so supportive that he wants whatever, like I can change my mind. He agrees with everything. Like, yeah, no, I do this thing now, don't do the other one.
Sure.
So he was like that. So to have that spot, and I know a lot of musicians, people who decide to pursue a career in the arts, don't get that support from family because they think this is not a real job. We need to see you. We have miracle. We 8, work 5. We need a consistent salary because they think music really isn't, or even the arts isn't something that will sustain you. And
then your mother, what is she saying now? Now you are getting into music. You are following into your father's footsteps.
No, my mom was also supportive. I mean. They are two birds of a feather, those two. Whatever my dad would agree on with me, Liana, she was like, no, do it. If your dad said, my mother was that kind of woman who said, my father is the head of the family. So if he says, no, do it, then she can't come and say, no, that's not the way you should go. So she was also, especially after he passed, when she remained behind before she also went, she was like, you know what, make your dad proud. This was you and his thing. So go and really do it full, seriously so, just honor that legacy. And I think this is why now, after the 3-year, 2019 to now, 3-year kind of retreat, not necessarily break, just a back off, I'm back with new energy. And yeah, we're riding the wave now. There's no more going back. So
does some of your material take from that experience, from both, from losing both your parents?
Yeah. There's specifically 2 songs that I wrote. It's funny. Album Miyaka was meant to record it early February, but because my mom started getting sick at that time, we kept pushing it, and ultimately she passed away. So when we recorded, even my producer was like, it's like your mom wanted her song in the album. I wrote a song for her as well. So there's a song about my father, there's a song about my mother on the album. Yeah. So he was saying, no, there's the reason why we didn't record it before, because she also wanted to be within the album as well.
Sure.
So it was a nice way.
Besides you being beautiful, there is something noticeable about you, and it's your scar on your arm.
Oh yes.
Yes. What happened there?
Car accident. A near fatal car accident. So we were doing a children's theatre show. Kompumalanga. We were on a trip. I had literally just gotten my license 3 months before. So the guy who was supposed to drive us really had too much fun the night before, and he was hungover. So there was no way he could drive. The other actress, Liana, she was like, guys, she just said no. And I was the team leader at that time. So there was no way we couldn't go to the next show because people didn't want to drive. I said, okay, cool. I wasn't so confident, but I was like, let's go. We were at the school, dude. The guy had slept in the passenger seat. He was supposed to direct us. Say, oh, here it is. So I feta gate ya skolo. I park on the side. We had a trailer, I had the costumes, the set, and all of that. So I checked my mirror. I think it was covered a bit by the trailer. It looks clear. as I turn in, an 18-wheeler truck, MAN mo, as I'm turning in, hit us. So the traffic guys say the trailer saved our lives because had it not had that weight, it would have crushed us. So weight ela dirile gore e turn around yona truck ela ifete iska ba ya re drag so. So that weight helped the car move away from it, so the truck hits us and puts us out of the road, not crashes.
And you are a learner driver at that time, basically.
Yeah,
you just got your license 3 months ago.
You have no idea the guilt.
Right, but no one died, right?
No one died. It was just I was seatbelt saved lives, guys.
Okay.
Myself, the seatbelt. The guy who got hurt the most wasn't wearing a seatbelt. He got thrown around in the car, broke ribs, all of that. So because he wasn't in a seatbelt. Yeah.
Okay. Did you stay at a hospital?
Yeah, I went to Malelane Hospital, ko Mpumalanga. Ultimately, my dad, they came the next day to fetch me. Katlamo Mankweng. Stayed about 2 weeks, and the doctors were saying, because I had fractured my hip bone, I couldn't walk. Like I felt a pain, but I didn't know where it was coming from. Fast, like X-ray, Malelane didn't show anything. So we went for X-rays, and they're like, no, your whole hip is fractured. So you're gonna have to do bed rest for 3 months. Don't walk around, don't do anything. But by the grace of God, I was able to be out of the hospital within 2 weeks and walking on a crutch.
Was this before you got injured while you were playing soccer?
This was after.
After.
Why got biography? What is this? Where did you download this biography?
I've known you for 14 years, remember?
I know. You know my story. No, this was after. This was after. Yeah, so like I'm just and
so why did you get into soccer? Because you are from a music background.
No, listen. I remember my parents only transformed later on. When I started off, when I was in high school, I loved sports. I was first team soccer, hockey, everything was me. So they didn't want me to pursue performing arts as a profession. They were like, you can do whatever you want, but you need to get a diploma or degree, proper. So the closest thing that I liked was sports. So I said, let me do sports management. So one of the requirements, sports management is that you must play a sport to earn practical points. Either you go work at a company, Edilanka Sports, or you play sports to earn your practical hours. So I was like, no, I'm not going to work for free. So let me play sports. That's when I got injured. And I literally got injured. Somebody can put her, when you were at the threshold, banyana in music. Literally, it was the trials, the national team.
Okay.
Some coach had spotted me at different games, Pretoria Tech. Come to the trials. If you play the way I've been seeing you play, you are in my team. You are in the national squad. Dude, literally, I got the ball. This girl comes and kicks me in the knee. Not even 3 seconds in, Jack. Not even. I was out. That was it. Finished career. Finished.
Your football or soccer career was done.
It was done. My Vanyana dreams were out the window.
And now there's a perception that ladies who play soccer mostly are lesbians.
Yeah. This is a very problematic. a very problematic perception. No,
it's there though. It exists.
It's there. But women are allowed to love soccer. You know, I mean, now I've got big feet. I've got size 8 feet. Yeah. So ultimately, I thought maybe soccer is my vision. I've got my dad's feet. These size 8s must work somewhere.
Which team are you playing for?
What do you mean right now?
Males or females?
Must I walk off? You're touching me on my studio now. Don't touch me in my studio.
I just want to be sure.
I was playing for the female team, Jack. Yes, with my cocks just size 8. Yes, sure. This is what I was doing.
Are we dating though?
Who am I dating? Who do you need to date?
At that time, who are you dating?
Guys, that time. How old was I? Plus, I finished high school in 16. So I was 17, 18 at that time. So I was there. Rugby plus Neri. Our practice ran and then the rugby team was next door to us. Shame. After practice, divide.
So where are we playing this soccer?
Pretoria Tech.
Pretoria Tech.
The injury because my mom is so overprotective of me. It's like, yo, when I got performing at too much.
Sure.
Yes. So I switched to University of Pretoria. At first, I couldn't find space in the music department because it was already full. I decided to switch later on, actually early in the year.
Sure.
So when I got there, I was like, okay, let me do drama for a year. Get music in the second year. Let me pass time, get some creative thing. But obviously, drama got into me. I finished the degree, started working as an actress, and yeah.
Then you'll fill me in between that. You opened a drama art school at some point, right?
Yeah.
When did that come, and why did you feel like there is a need, especially in Limpopo?
Yeah. So as I was working as an actress in Joburg, I realized that the theatre company would literally tour KZN, Northwest, the other provinces, but Limpopo. Like literally all the companies that I've done work for, they would tour every other province. Well, except Eastern Cape, Leona never say that much, but Limpopo and Eastern Cape were the most neglected provinces in terms of theatre. So after I did a lot of that work, I said, no, you know what, I can run, I've seen how it works, I've seen how these guys run their business. Let me go start it Kogai. So that was the inspiration to say, they don't get the chances that they, like, compared to a Joburg counterpart, that the talent and the skill and the knowledge, especially in Joburg, the arts are a luxury. The arts are done. Like, they are a prerequisite for you to exist in that school. So Mogaye drama is like, it's not even we are doing drama, guys. You know, it's not even with that energy. It's just passing time and all of that.
Sure.
So I wanted it to be really, to show that theatre has a space. Not necessarily professional actors, but it feeds into every other thing that they do. Whatever you do, you're going to need to have presence. You're going to need to communicate properly. You're going to need to stand firm with your energy. So that automatically trains you for that without directly showing what I'm trainer.
So what happened to the school?
Ultimately, it started clashing with the music. And guys, music is the thing. So ultimately, I would have a production and a gig that I absolutely would cross mountains to do comes up and it clashes with that. So, and I can't leave paying clients and the parents. But I expect that now with those kids and teaching them. So I kept having to decline the performance music with my drama schedule. So ultimately I had to choose which one do I do. Ultimately I ended up handing over to some drama teachers that I had trained over the years. But you know about a certain person. They started slowly pulling out because they were saying even though it's the same.
It's a different person with the same
curriculum.
experience.
Yeah, it's the same curriculum, same thing that they know or we're teaching them. But because I'm not present, they felt they're not getting something. So
the best quality.
It slowly started to fall away. The kids started to fall away. So I decided to also ultimately close it because I wanted to focus purely on the music.
Right? So you are establishing this institution or academy or school in Limpopo because there is a need and you feel like you need to contribute your skills and your experience. But now, NTSIKWANE is nowhere to be seen in Polokwane anymore. In Limpopo.
What do you mean? I'm nowhere to...
Right? There was a period where
where am I right now?
where is NTSIKWANE?
Yes.
Right? So you go on social media and you're like, NTSIKWANE is in Gauteng now and it seems like this person is like... is a resident of Gauteng.
Yeah.
So why did you leave?
I didn't actually. I'm in between provinces even now. I go where opportunity calls. If I'm in Gauteng recording, I'm there for 3 months. Obviously, when I move around, I'll take gigs there, so it would look like I'm there. And when I'm home, I'm home. So I could say it's a 50-50 split. I'm here 6 months, more or less. I'm that side 6 months, more or less. So it's not necessarily I'm back there. Marlogana, you know, when you've done all you can do in a certain area, the next thing is to explore other avenues, you know. So I feel like since 2010, Jack, I've been here. Only in 2020, I started to explore where else can I go, either Western Cape, go to the Cape Town or be in Gauteng. So ultimately I was like, Gauteng, I have better context, let me start there. So I was back and forth between here in Gauteng to expand. Expansion is necessary. And I feel like, not that I've done everything possible in Limpopo, but I feel it's time to move.
What do you think is so difficult with the province? Wow. Why is it difficult to get a breakthrough in the province?
Okay, why is it difficult to get it?
Because you have tried, like you
Yeah.
basically like tried, tried everything.
Yeah. And I there's two factors. The one factor, the first one I want to discuss is timing. Certain things take time. And if you're not ready yet to be in that space will not open up. I think back then, because I didn't really know my sound, know myself, that is why also the energy yabatu was, okay, no, great music, all of that, but there was just that because Lina, I was still like, are you going to like my music? Are you going to like me? Seeking validation. And people can sense that. They can sense a person who's not really sure, who looks sure, but an element Jabana is not sure. And the second thing that caused me to explore other sides is because what I love about Gauteng is that you could do a gig at a restaurant and have producer Yako Metro FMB in the restaurant having a meal and have him say, oh, I like your sound, let me interview you, Go Metro. Or any gig that you could do go Gauteng, there's a potential of having somebody who can grab your hand and say, let me take you further. So, Morai, I haven't experienced that. Like, people will clap hands for you and love your music and can have contacts and keep them to themselves and not share with you. But I've found horror, not even only in Gauteng, when you're not in your home ground, because people don't know you, they're more open to you.
Okay.
So they take you at your talent and they take you as you are. So more there's, and Polokwane is small, guys. Like, in fact, Limpopo is small. Limpopo is small. Exactly. 100%. So yeah, that was the reason why I started exploring other aspects. I mean, also even in anyone's journey, not even in the music industry, once you feel like you've contributed what you can do to a certain company, you start applying to other companies and move. You're not bound till death to a company that first hired you.
Okay.
Yeah. It keeps me grounded.
Literally.
It literally keeps me grounded. When I connect with the earth,
Yeah.
there's just something different about it. Like, I don't like shoes. Like, if I could walk around in town, come out, I would, So that is just me. I just love being free and walking around without
Did you try
shoes.
to understand why?
No, I know why. Like, and I've seen how people, ba dingaka or traditional healers, they walk around barefooted. And I've seen other artists who do the kind of music that I do. Lebona, they don't wear shoes. There's something about, these rubbers, they block the energy that's coming from the earth. And when you connect with that energy, there's certain meridian points that run under your feet that connect to different organs in your body. So that it literally energizes you. When we were young, do you remember ever being so sickly? What were we doing? Outside. We put our hands. Just that touch, the wetness, the grass, playing around in there, made our immune system stronger, and we connected with the earth.
You sound like one of those conscious chakra chicks. Are you like the chakra lady?
Chakra.
Are you who's
No, they're called. Excuse me.
Will Smith
Willow.
Will Smith's wife.
Daughter. Oh, Jada. Oh, no. And they're called chakra hands. Excuse me.
Hey, they will hurt you,
It's
those
chakra.
ones.
It's chakra,
Chakra hands. Hey, they will hurt you, those ones.
No, I think,
And
people,
they blame it on the universe.
I know, guys. Mercury is in retrograde. It's a retro. Today, the new moon is opposite Scorpio, and it's sextiling Aries. So that fire element is. Like, we'll tell you, sorry, you don't follow that. And you believe it, you'll be like,
Why though?
I feel like you are correct. This Mercury thing must stop messing with you.
Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you had to tell a guy or whoever you were dating that the energy is, man, the system is not aligning?
No, back then I didn't realize what and I know we make fun of it, ne? And I make fun of it myself. But at the base of us as human beings, we are energy. Finished We are electromagnetic.
But yours is exaggerated, guys.
No. It's not even exaggerated. I'm telling you.
Yes.
Linda, trust me, I used to laugh at it. What energy, what vibes. Like this thing I'm sending vibes. You can literally, 2020 gave me time to actually read books by neuroscientists who have proven this. Or you have an oral field that's up to 3 meters. So your field is combining with mine. There's some energy that's being exchanged. They've studied this with human beings.
Sure.
There is an auric field that is around us. When it's certain colors, it means your energy is up. When it's certain colors, it means your energy is down. So I think that guy intentionally he was able, his name is Dr. Joe Dispenza. He was able to heal himself from a severe spinal injury without surgery.
Okay.
Just using his mind and energy, and repaired his spinal cord. So he wanted to he didn't want it to be a woo-woo. Hey, I healed myself. Hey, how people will take it.
Yeah.
He literally
They'll probably kill him.
Quit his career as a chiropractor and went into research to see what it is about the brain, the energies, the electromagnetic signals that it's sending to the body that is healing it.
So can you feel this energy and can you interpret it?
No, I'm not that deep yet.
Yeah, you're not that deep.
I know we are energy beings, but I'm not that deep yet.
You don't have a crystal ball sometimes.
Like I'm adjusting you, Jack. You are now adjusted.
I wanted you to tell us what the energy is here now.
No, not yet. Not, guys, I'm going to trust that even music is energetic. I realized this. I was performing, and when 3 people tell you the same thing, where there's something that is happening that you don't understand. What I've heard from my ancestors that I speak to as I speak to them. Hore. At first, when I it's not even a calling. When I felt like there's something more I need to be doing, and that the music that I'm doing is not about the fame, it's not about the followers, not about glam life. There is something more. They were telling me, hore, they want to use my voice to not even heal, to activate something in people. I didn't understand it. Like back then I was like, what? No.
Yeah.
Another friend of mine who's a medium said the same thing. This is what your ancestors want. This is how your music is going to be.
Yeah. So didn't they confuse you at a point? No,
that was never even like no. Even though on either side they never went through that. It's self-initiation. Like it just came to them and they started knowing herbal. Like my dad would tell me, my great-great-grandmother would take him, it cures epilepsy. But when they came to her for epilepsy, she would burn that plant, cover them, and they never had an epilepsy episode after her session. So there is that gift. And because medicine, remember, when something has solidified itself as a system, no, system A, actually, this thing you don't need to treat it, because treatment is money for 20 years. A cure is one-time money and you're finished. Exactly. So dingaka just so to they are fodisha. Western medicine that's what it is.
Right.
It cannot really go to your. I mean, I truly believe there's no way that there's no cure for cancer on this earth. With the advancements we've made.
No, there's probably a cure for everything.
For every single thing. It's just because it's making too much money for them to say, here, take this, you will no longer have diabetes. Within a week, your blood sugar, whatever it is that's causing diabetes will be leveled, you'll be fine. They can't do that.
So that's spiritual part. So now I know that it's inherited. So you're from that background.
Yes.
So, but what part of your spiritual realm you get to when you're making your music? I know it's a difficult question to explain, but because you are a chakrahan, I know that you will definitely delve deep into it. Because I've seen some performers when they get on stage, they transform and they become a different being. And I've seen that with you as well. And also, you sing a lot about women in your music, right? And I want to understand, where does that come from? Yeah.
Okay, the transformation. Remember, Rena as artist, Msaki has a beautiful barking title that she calls herself Ukipija the song catcher. So that's truly, when I saw that, I'm like, this truly describes what we do. We catch songs. And also tuning into and also I catch your theater. Like, this is why whenever, I'm glad we have recording phones now, because I've lost so many songs because I couldn't record them. Because when they inspire you, when it's there, you really need to get it down. Otherwise, you will never get it the same way that you got it at that time. So when you're on stage, it's like that energy, Jonah, that same energy that gave you the music transforms. But it's twofold. Remember, we are in showbiz. There's the fold, people who are genuinely writing from that space, that they hear the music and they channel it and they write it and they produce it and they send it out.
Yeah.
Then there are those, it's purely entertainment, it's purely ego. There's a jajaja they put on, this is jaja they take off. It's not spiritually linked. This is entertainment. This is, I entertain you on stage and then I get off. There are those whose music is also a calling. Where Lore, these things are intertwined. I cannot unhook myself from who the calling, because the calling is me, I am me. There's no one okay, now I'm here. It's me doing all these things. So that is that. And then what was your other question?
Women.
Yeah,
basadi.
Actually, the recent single from my album is called Bereka Musadi. In society, I believe we are lacking the feminine energy. And not in a dominant...
Really?
No, serious. Not in a dominant way, it must take over. What is masculine energy? Masculine energy is, I'm pushing. I'm going to push, like push a panda. Let's robbing my body, guys. Let's make this money. That's masculine energy. Feminine energy is effortless. I'm receptive. It's like a queen. A queen doesn't have to go and force its subjects to do anything. It tells whoever, I mustn't see them tomorrow. She doesn't go check up or email or she knows it's going to be done. So we need that feminine energy. We are too much in a competitive, aggressive, also overpowering, outshine. I must have more followers, I must have more this. That's masculine. That's very out there. Let's do it. And that's necessary. What I want is, we need to have a balance now. We need to have the feminine to say, it's okay to rest. It's okay. Like this 3-year break, I even had people on my team tell me, Joe, but you really need to get back on, because, people forget. I'm like, no, people will not forget me, and I know why I'm taking this break. So we need that feminine energy to balance out the too much hard aggression, competitiveness with the listening.
Sure.
That's why Earth is called Mother Earth. It nourishes us. Imagine if earthquake after earthquake, floods, all of these things, because of what we are. We're also polluting the earth with our energy. Negativity, the wars that are happening, literally now I take accountability to the point of my thoughts. Honestly, let me tell you what I do. If I think a thought about somebody that's not great, I understand it causes a ripple in the energy field. Literally, immediately I'll say, I'm sorry, forgive me, I'm sorry. In my head. That's what I do. That's how much I watch the energy that I'm giving out, because I know the energy that you give out is the energy you receive, and the energy with which you do something is the energy with, this dress, these ladies came, Bamu Mercedes, they took a picture of it.
Sure.
Because when I first saw it at my designer's thing, I didn't know what I didn't know how to collect a rogo. So I went on the mannequin. So, that dress. So I was hoping for Kiaga. So I said, okay guys, get collect the rogo.
Yeah.
Because of that, the love energy that was in here.
Sure.
Literally, when I walked in, this woman, she was like, she called me like, okay, what's this? Like, number ya designer. Oh, do you get it? It's the love, that the energy that I gave to this dress. When if you wore an outfit that you were not sure with, trust that people are not going to compliment you that day, because you were not sure. But if you're rocking, once you're rocking, you're like, yeah. You see, it's the energy.
ntse kwana wa bolela mona ebile ke lebetse ke gore ke be ke mmotsitse gore like
Kanti podcast ya o diang ke go lebellana ka mahlo.
I forgot. I mean, like, that chakra thing is working on me. Can you see that?
Oh, it's a motlo chakra brother when. O le chakra brother.
There's too much energy conversation that is happening.
Is it drum boss o la opera di pita? Jackie vela perdi. The heads kente what no how Jack whatever.
But I hear what you are saying. Isn't this what the world wants? Isn't this what women want? To be competitive, to be on the same level as men, to be seen as equals. And I know it's a very deep discussion about feminism and everything. But you're saying, that be female, be feminine, be a queen. Like also femininity comes with being submissive, being kind, caring, and loving, and all of those things, taking care of,
nurturing,
nurturing, and all of those things. But those things now they are seen as like, no, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
We want the same things men want. We want to live the same thing, the same life men want. Isn't that maybe?
I think that's how far deep the programming. This is how things operate. You need to fight for your place in life. I mean, even in nature, there's a coin phrase that says survival of the fittest. And it's not actually that. Scientists are now finding it's actually survival of collaborators. It's not survival in the wild. The more a pack of, whether it's hyenas, collaborate, the longer they survive. It's not survival of the fittest. It's survival of how many people can you collaborate with and form a stronger bond, so that this huge thing is like, okay, we are backing away, we are not going to come. So it's we've been taught wrong. You need to fight for your place. I mean, do you need to fight to breathe, Jack? Let's just start there. Are you fighting right now to breathe?
No.
Why can we not accept we did not make ourselves? Are you making your heart beat right now?
No.
Why can we not accept that the energy that is beating your heart, that is chocolate day we're this morning, right now is doing what it's doing. You're not even having any part of it. But there's a grace, there's an energy, there's an intelligence that is running your body that you are not aware of, but is doing what you're doing. Why can we not accept that we are not fighting to breathe, we are not fighting to onosepela? Why do we feel like we need to fight to have a place under the earth? Are you not under the sun yet? And it's because, this is why I believe it is, we've been shown one road where this is success. Ne? Here it is. You are a multi-million platinum selling artist. You've won 7 Grammys. You've won 3 BETs. You have a Walk of Fame. What go New York on that little pathway. This is what success is. Yes, it can be for those particular few people whose path on this earth is actually to do that. For others, their work is to use their talents in different ways. It's not necessarily what you're going to be famous. And not that it's bad to be those things. It's that it's not going to be all of us. We've been positioned to say, by the age 35, if you're not married and have 2.5 kids, forget about yourself. There's a certain mold that society has given us. This is success, this is happiness, this is what. And it's not that for everybody. It takes guts. That's why it's been so hard for me. I had to take literally time off. Like not deactivate, delete. I wanted to with the fresh people on my timeline, fresh people on my social media, because I'm a new person.
Yeah.
You can't.
So sorry to cut you, but I want to ask you if you are taking this from your family setting or you learned it elsewhere, because in the beginning you said your father was the head of the family. And if he gave instructions, and people mistaken the word instruction as something forceful and oppressive, right? It's just the word, guys. So when he gave instructions, everyone followed.
Yeah.
Do you take that from your family, how you were raised, how you observed your mother and your father, their roles in the household, or you learned it elsewhere?
I think we all do. I mean, remember Jack Hore? I'm sorry to go into my Chakrahan vibes. Mara, from age 1 to 7, right now, unless you have done the work to clear your subconscious mind, you are a sponge between age 1 to 7 of your environment. And who are the people in your immediate environment? Your parents, your siblings, maybe school by then, but we crashing. Markana Kocharna, at least our parents were at home. So, Nevasa was crashing at 2. You stayed home at least until 6. You know, so it's primarily your parents and your siblings. You are who you are right now because of those initial 7 years. Your programming, your reactions are based on what you observed. I mean, actually, I wasn't speaking to my sister. I was thinking to myself, my dad had this phrase, Salawi na trip yawa Italy. And then from there, he became fascinated with the Italian accent. So he had this thing, how are you for you? Like, how are we? Yeah. Like, how are you for you? How are you for you?
Yeah.
So the Mabani to my sister, she's been working on the laptop. The whole day, no. Muto usually comes down, 9. So she's been up there. So so he was like, how are you for you? And then I laughed, you know, if I was raised by a different person, how are you for you would never even exist.
Sure. Yes.
It would be something else.
Yes.
You know, it would be something completely different.
So you have adopted it
we've
now.
We've adopted it, yes. So part of it is it's nurturing from parents. You are raised in a certain way. And other parts is when you finally have almost like a awakening or awareness. And then you start to see, oh no, man, these things are not me. These things I've inherited from even timelines. Yeah, your family. Remember, even our parents raised us the way their parents raised us. Their parents raised them the way they. So nobody is raising their children authentically because it's all passed down from generation to generation. You can't do something that you don't know.
Yeah, but it's possible.
Okay.
It's like you find that you have a brother, for instance. Fortunate for you, you are in the same stream. You're doing the same thing. You are behaving the same way. I mean, like one wouldn't separate you from your brother.
Yeah.
But in the family, you find that, there's this one, Mara, this one.
It's just like, wow.
Yeah. And hence I'm asking, did you learn it outside or did you learn it in the family?
Yeah, it's both ways.
Sure.
Family initially, and then as I grew up and started seeing the world, seeing my reaction to things, no, but why do these things touch me on my studio and the others don't?
Yeah.
So I started looking back on what happened either in my teenage years, childhood, that is making me sensitive to this particular thing, to that particular thing. So that's when I started uncovering different things that not necessarily, bad, traumatic things. It's just things you inherited that are not yours.
So what kind of a person are you in a relationship?
Let me get my phone. You'll have to call and ask my ex-boyfriend because I don't know what kind of person I am. Obviously, I think I'm an angel.
Yeah.
But somebody will tell you, Mang, NTSIKWANE, but now think, no, I'm the most loving, engaging. So that's hard for me to tell. And I would love, actually, right now I'm so excited. I'm single, right, brothers? I'm single.
But you have been single for many years, Munna. You never post anything.
No, I can't post. Why?
You know, like people on social media, what they do these days, even on their WhatsApp, I see it a lot with my contacts, because you are my contact anyway.
Yeah.
They even put like stickers
on top of their face. Like, why post
their partners?
I saw that. I'm like,
you understand?
Then why?
No,
do you feel like you must
never.
Post? No.
And she's always driving a car. I don't doubt or someone is driving this car. There's someone driving. No, Ntsukwana is always on the steering wheel. Like, how? No. Who must just your 9 size feet?
That's why size 8. Why walk at my feet now? 8, Jack. But no, why 9? No, it's 8. In fact, it's 7.5. It's 7.5 now. It went down.
No. You must tell me something.
No, okay.
Who's taking care of your feminine side of things?
Who's taking care
like
of my
a romantic
side of things? I am. You know what?
Hey, don't say that because I'm gonna go wild with the questions.
No. Let me get into. We keep breaking away from the Shagrahan phase. Let me get back to my Shagrahan phase and be cliche.
Okay.
And say, the love that you seek is within you. Yes.
What was your longest relationship? And
2
your
years.
shortest?
Shortest was 3 months.
What happened?
Oh no, Aisha, no. I know. Ngeke. Andisi.
Oh, it's too much to break up with
guys.
someone in 3 months.
No, but Jack, you know, okay, let me not share. But
No, I
it's,
know. I want to hear this story.
no,
3
no.
months. No, I've never had like a 3 months relationship.
No, it
to
was
be honest with you.
the person who wanted to be babied. Like,
Okay.
okay. Text at a certain time in the morning. It's like, hey, when you don't care about me, where is my good morning text? Where is your good morning text?
Guys, but 3 months is what do they call it? Honeymoon phase.
Yeah, but no, I'm not that person when I Jack. Like, relationships are a part of me. If there's a pie chart, there's work, there's family, there's my car, there's relationship. It's not, here's the pie, half relationship, the other half is other thing. There's a sort of a balance that happens.
Sure.
So it can be. That's why people go into mental institutions. They get frustrated when they break up with their people because they've made them their life, the center. You cannot make another human being that you are going to suffer.
That does not mean you love them less.
It does not mean you love them less. It means actually you value them more. You're saying, and I respect your sovereignty, your individuality enough to say, you don't need to call me 3 times a day. I am actually a human being who has things to do. We will talk. Mara, I've got things. I've got other people.
Guy, this guy. At one of your restaurant performance gigs.
Probably, yes.
Is it someone who knew you for quite some time, or it was a love at first sight? Let's go.
Yeah, it was almost like attraction at first sight-ish.
Yeah.
And then after a month, it was like, okay, cool, I like you. In the initial dating phase, we were going out to dinner, come back, going out to lunch, come back, what. It was fine because, you know, I was engaging with him for that 3 hours and then Katamai. So when we decided, oh no, we like each other, let us officiate, you are my boyfriend, I'm your girlfriend.
Sure.
Yes. Now it's like demands. Even my back and forth to Joburg was no, but why?
What was he thinking dating a celebrity?
Who's a celebrity? The celebrity here. Who is that?
I mean, like, no, you can't. You know.
Can't expect this person to be here.
Did you have that conversation with him at first to tell him, like, look, this is how my life is set up, you know?
No, but he knows. We met at a performance. So he can't act like now that I'm with him, I mustn't go out. And also, because he met me at a performance, he imagines that when I'm at a performance, other men approach me the same way he approached me after a performance.
Sure.
You get what I mean? So I think maybe that was something that was also running in his head. But yeah.
And the 2-year guys? The 2-year guy.
The 2-year guy.
Oh yeah, the 2-year guys.
Yeah,
it seems like 2 years was the longest you've ever dated.
No, it was a beautiful relationship.
Sure.
He wasn't from here. He was from Cape Town. So he was just here from Morocco. And it was way back, actually. Now that I think about it, guys, my last relationship was in 2012.
Really? Was he white?
No.
I know you Chakra Hansi, you have a thing with white people. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but yeah.
I don't think I can ever. My cousin believes now the way I am, I'll marry a white man. No, I need to. Like, there's certain things you can only say as paid. So auto translate into English or they lose their power. So it cannot be that, you know. So
we're recording, sir. We're recording. We're live.
So
no.
So yeah.
Okay. Did that relationship come with a engagement?
No, it didn't. Ultimately, when I say the words that's why I'm careful with the words that I write in my singing. Because music, it goes directly to your subconscious mind. It bypasses the conscious. So you don't have an option. This is as I grew older, I realized why parents would say, don't listen to this song. It only influence. I was like, what? When I learned how the subconscious mind works, I was like, those people were right. They were probably not going into the same scientific detail. Conscious mind is the mother, the subconscious is the child. So, but now that I know, it goes straight past. So this relationship actually was a fruition directly from that song Yapule. You know, I dated this guy for 2 years and ultimately he got married to somebody else without telling me. And Kosha Yapule says what? And I wrote it before him.
It was not on Heritage Day,
no?
When you found
You know, funny enough, But no, you know intuition, ne?
Yeah.
That weekend I was performing at a wedding, ne?
Hala.
I thought
Your energy was...
no, my energy was on point. I was vibing. I was in the vibes. A thought came to me, not even a thought. It's like a voice came to me. What? That guy is getting married this weekend, out of nowhere. I mean, this guy showed no signs of having any other wara on the side. But that weekend, because Nashem, my ancestors have my back, I believe it was a whisper to say, this. And I was like, why would I think that? There isn't any. And lo and behold, he comes back 2 weeks later from a business trip with a ring on his finger.
And what does he say to you?
No, he just says, I got married.
But when are red flags?
You know, when you are just deep in the deepness. I understand when women say, guys, people will be like, Mara, surely there should have been some red flags.
Deep in the deepness?
Deep in the deepness.
Was he that deep?
No, we were that deep when he was a chakra brother. Chakra brother. So, yeah, he was a chakra brother.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, dude, the guy cleaned, he cooked for me. Like,
Yo! They hit you right there.
He's the guy. When I'm to know, Jack, Incha does been more high. Why should
they hit you right there?
Yeah, so, chakra brother, yeah, that was that. But no, I like to take lessons from
Sure.
no matter how painful it is. That is how I'm supposed to be loved. That is how love is supposed to feel. As much as there was some fakeness on his side. But the treatment, the love, the care, the everything, like I can't fault him. I can't say there was a time I was like, hey, why did I so?
No pressure. I know a lot of people hate this question. Like, when are you graduating? When are you getting married? And stuff like that. Where are the kids?
No. Okay. No, that one, actually, I must just put it on the record and say that people should not... You've asked it, but let me just address it and then I'll answer it.
Yeah.
It's a sensitive topic, you know. It's almost, I don't know how to put it, maybe like somebody saying, why are you not circumcised? Because we don't know a person's situation.
Yes, of
what
course.
Miscarriages they've had, why they can't get pregnant.
Yeah.
And Lohana, it's one of those societal expectations. Why don't you have kids? It's just like me asking you, Jack, why aren't you a doctor?
Sure.
You don't want to be a freaking doctor.
Sure.
Why am I? Do you get what I mean? Like me asking you, why are you not a musician? Because I'm a podcast. It's that level of, why would I ask a person why they're not doing it, why they're driving a Mercedes and not a Hyundai? Because I don't want a Hyundai, I want a Mercedes.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Those are some of the questions that we need to be conscientized for. Why are you not married? Because I don't want to be married. You know?
Yeah.
Why don't? Because I don't want to. So some of those things that we really need to be aware of, the type of questions we ask people. But for me, for now, not having kids is by choice. It's
okay.
by choice.
Yeah, it's by choice, ne? Okay, no, that's fine. I know it's a very difficult question. I hate it as well because, in fact, I had a lot of questions. Like, people would ask you, why are you so short? I mean, like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
How am I supposed to answer that question?
Exactly that. So the same level of it's the same thing that people need to be sensitized.
But as humans, like, there's that level of curiosity, you know? And sometimes because you'd think that people make certain choices only to find that they've gone through an experience that maybe they would like to educate people about, you know, to say, because I've seen how Mama Winnie, Dr. Winnie Mashaba, talks about her daughter, and you could tell that, you know, this was deep.
Yeah, she really wanted, she has been in the media saying she wants a child.
Yeah.
She's been open about
and
it.
And also Dr. Rebecca Malope as well. She's like, and you ask yourself, so this thing is serious, this thing of having children is serious.
Yeah.
There are people who can't because of medical reasons. There are people who don't want to because it's a personal choice. Let me just take you back now. Who taught you the guitar?
I taught myself,
Yeah.
In varsity, but I had long breaks. Like, go varsity, go drama department. I was literally the only black chick there. So I saw some of my white colleague students, you know, they play instruments because, like I said, that whole thing, the arts are there. You know, it's not even a luxury. So here, I didn't even know anything about playing a guitar, playing an instrument. So I was fascinated by it, and I said, no, I want to learn. So Ankhanyecha, the white girl, no, hey, ke busy, hey, I can't show. Okay, I taught myself from a book. Taught myself for a book, and then yeah, too difficult, and I dropped it. For a couple of years, I didn't play at all. Picked it up again, maybe 2011, 2012. I was like, okay, let me do this. Again, left it. If you notice, back then I wasn't really playing full time with my guitar. I would play one song here and then put it down. So now, like in the past, I would say 4 or 5 years, I've really been like, no, I'm learning this. I'm going on YouTube. If I need to go on YouTube to learn proper, even my band has like one puncher. Okay, guys, where am I getting wrong? What note is this? How? If I want to switch this, how would I? So that's how I learned.
How do you feel? I'm just forgetting the name, man. It's coming and it's going. How do you feel? But I'll just generalize it. How do you feel when you do a project, right? And someone or people say you sound like Svanibani. You know, when you play the guitar and they're like, oh, you sound like Zahara. You know, when you do your vocals and they say like, hey, you sound like Miriam Makeba. How does that make you feel?
You know, honestly, for me, it used to offend me before. I'm a unique lala. I used to work myself up, like Naki struggle, Kidoki hate. I was hating myself with that reaction. So I realized that people, the human mind likes comparison. Everything has to have a light, dark, and opposite of it. So when they hear me, some say, yo, Carol, sound like Judith. Literally almost like, if Judith and Tracy Chapman had a baby, it would sound like you.
Yeah,
like a mix of Tracy Chapman and Judith Zipuma in the same.
I was looking for Tracy Chapman.
In the same thing. So now it depends on who you're comparing to. If I like the person, I'll take it as a compliment. I'll be like, yes, but if you go, hey, no, well, I'm not like that person.
Is it because you don't value them to a certain level?
Because I don't like their art. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's how deep it goes.
Yeah.
You would only relate to someone that you like their art. But
also, I've also, even that has shifted because I realize people compare you to people they love. If somebody says, yo, Uzahara wa Limpopo, the energy I sense is that they mean it in a good way. Or you are as great as for them, Zahara is the end all and be all. So which means they're, implying that I'm the end all and be all like her as well.
Sure.
I take it from that energy. But shakrahan rida mutatar he ntsikwani ne yo ke ke gore ha yo na ha ke go ntlaba so yeah. Well, people who first meet me either think ke moXhosa, especially in Tsikwani, they say Ntsiki. They're like, are you sure you're not from the Eastern Cape? I'm not. And they pleasantly surprised whenever I say Kichwa Solomon Day. They're like, oh, like this Solomon Day, like which other Solomon Day is there? Like this one, this Solomon Day.
Yeah.
I'm from this Solomon Day, Radikhale, Manteding. This is where my parents grew up. This is where I grew up.
I heard something you talking about school and stuff.
Well, school is I'm exploring my herbalist side. I'm actually enrolled for a course in herbalism.
Yeah.
At the Complementary Institute of Medical Science, Joburg. So that is what I'm studying now, because I really feel like this is where COVID has showed us what, guys, moringa, lemon, matlakala, mango, like so many remedies that people realize that they didn't know were medicinal, and they were able to use it to boost their immune systems. It showed me there's a space for that, for me to be that. I've always been fascinated by it. Whenever I see plants, I always wonder, what is this plant for? So I decided, you know what, let me just learn officially. And I don't know if I'll use it in the future, but I just wanted to have that knowledge. Because the last place I want to go is a doctor. So whenever I don't feel well, I start by self-medicating. And if within 7 days I'm not better, that's only when Kiando. But most of the times, I've really been better.
Sure. No, you are deep into this thing. You are really deep. Like, there's no turning back.
Yeah, there's no turning back. I'm chakra-rized. Right? Whatever that word is.
Before you go to varsity, you schooled at Solomon Dale as well.
Yeah.
And which school did you go to this
Solomon
time?
Dale Primary.
Solomon Dale Primary, and then you moved to
Capricorn High School.
Capricorn. Oh, no one.
Yeah, one.
Oh, no, it makes sense now.
Now is like, oh, okay. cut, podcast finished, cut.
No, so what stream are you doing there at Capricorn High?
What did I do?
Because I did history, geography, like yo.
Oh, I did both business, economics, maths. I did that line, that businessy line. Yeah.
Right. So, Ntikwana, this question is running, man. It's very important that I ask you this question, because if I do this podcast without this question, I would have lost an opportunity. I feel like I would be doing an injustice if I do not capture this question.
It will come back. What's about?
Yeah, it will come back. Yeah.
Einstein, there's a line where he said, whenever I'm stuck, I go for a walk and then the answer pops in. Like whenever I try to figure it out and say, this thing, what? The minute I let it go and move on to other things, it comes back in.
Yeah.
So let's move on. It will come back.
Yeah, let's move on to other things. So there's a concept that you created. You know, like I'm going to this question, but I don't want to go to it. There's a concept that you created, performing in people's houses.
Yes.
Right? So how did that idea come about?
That idea, honestly, now I subscribe to a lot of American blogs and American music forums. So I see what artists are doing that side, well, US and UK. So Gabona, there's websites that are popping up, home concert hosts. If you're an artist, you can pass by our house. You can, you get a room, you get food. We invite guests, whatever. So I was like, this is a dope concept. How come I've never seen it be done here? But I saw during lockdowns, a few people maybe tried to do it. But I tried it more. I think the thing that I forgot is that this is a third world country and people don't trust other people. So for me to go to a human being, another person who doesn't, they would be happy, I'm sure, to have me in their house. But there was a certain level of discomfort. Okay, you come into a house. And the thing that I was saying was that because I know it's your private home, I'm not going to invite my guests. When I book me for your house, you call your colleagues, your friends, and whatever. At least have a minimum of 20 people there, paying a certain amount each, and we can do the home concert. But it can't be, you are squeezing me into a birthday party, or you're squeezing me into a wedding. You know, people like to take chances, it's going to 200 per person, okay, which adds up to 5,000. Oh, 5,000 fella to have it. Okay, let's have it for a birthday. No, it needs to be a home concert.
Yes.
It can be for a special
We're
occasion.
calling NTSIKWANE specifically to perform for us.
Yeah, it didn't work out. It really, people didn't buy into it. Hey, people didn't warm up to it for some reason. And I understand. I mean, it's a new, the same way Lika But Unplugged. It's a new concept. People haven't heard it. People haven't seen it before. And new things are hard to incorporate into your life. The same way that Remotaka offer a different brand of laptop that you don't use. There's that discomfort there, will shift all your software to that one, and sometimes you may even reject it. I know it's an upgrade, but I think I'll just stick to this one because shift to there. So there's that element once you are used to something, that comfort or change or adopt new things is a challenge.
But you're trying to bring it back? It's dead, that idea?
It's not, nothing is ever dead. I think, like I was saying, timing.
Oh, yeah.
Timing.
Right?
Timing.
That question is back.
Amen.
I wrote an article and I titled it Era of Useless Artists. And you commented on that article.
Yes.
And we're talking about how artists are not contributing in building society and conscientizing the society. And that's why we have so many problems, because artists are influential. Yeah. Right? What's your thinking about the role of an artist in a society?
I'm so glad that question came back to you, because this is exactly what I'm passionate about. This is exactly why I do the music that I do and why I do the things the way I do the things. The arts of any country reflect the consciousness of that country. If you go and listen to the top 10 of any commercial station right now, it will tell you the consciousness of the majority of people. You will not hear Nduduzo Makatini. You will not hear Mandisi Jantis. You will not hear Tandiso Mazai. You will not hear Simpiwe Dada. You will not hear artists who are known for nurturing, who are known for Zabalaza, who are known for music that aluta continua, who are known for music that inspires, music that brings people back to their consciousness, back to their awareness. So artists are influential to a point where the then MECA education Gauteng Panyaza, when he said the matric drop rate Gauteng, the reason it dropped so much is partly because of Amapiano. They dragged him through the media. People were laughing at him. And he didn't say it was completely, he said partly due to this lifestyle. And there's nothing, it has its place.
Sure.
But for young people whose brains are still developing, we cannot be feeding people one-sided music as if there isn't people like us, people who do amazing work that conscientize people to who they are. Because remember, music, is it Fela Kuti who says music is a weapon? Music has been weaponized against us. Mainstream media will not play my title, not that they won't play it, I'm going to make sure that it's played. This is a message of hope to say, even though you're going through a dark time, remember that there's light coming at the end of the tunnel. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Right now, the system benefits from us being in a depressed mode, from us being in debt, because it forces us to continue working, to continue contributing to this economic system. The minute a person realizes they are nourished as they are, they don't need much. What happens to the beauty industry? What happens to the cigarette industry? What happens to the alcohol industry? We will no longer go there to soothe ourselves with those things because you're fine. The only reason the addiction, well, besides the person who drinks one glass of wine and calls it a day, there are people who consistently over weekend go out and drink because they are soothing the kind of life they're living during the week. It's like Mosaki said, fetch your life. Like throughout the week, you are doing nonsense and then when are you living? When are you living? So I believe music truly, entertainment actually is the way we can conscientize people to who they are. But like I said, because that doesn't benefit the system that's currently in control, it won't happen. I mean, even the soapies, if you see the soapies, Kidi Lavi Davi, they don't encourage strength. I haven't seen a soapie where I've seen characters that really are like, not even on the evil side, who really are conscious, who really, people could be like, hey, wait, that's an option? People are not given options. There's one young man who came to a show of mine, Go Pretoria. And as I was playing, he's getting filled up, kadike late. So obviously, after the performance, I have to go talk to Yadanya because he's the odd one out. Everybody else here, my people. So, dude, what's going on? Your music is what people like me, who do not want to follow the mainstream, need. Like, I didn't know there was a person who sings about what you sing about. Your music is for people who have some kind of calling to be outside of the mainstream, to be a maverick. And let's get this straight. There's nothing wrong with the mainstream. But my thing is wherever I find myself, I think even it's a quote. It says, whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it's time to reevaluate. Because it's group consciousness. You're no longer in individual thinking.
You're following a mob.
Exactly, mob consciousness. So to answer your question, music, literally, the hairstyles, how many people are copying La Mise's hairstyle? Just that alone. It shows you the influence of celebrities. And just the way we've pedestalized them. Is that a word? Put them on a pedestal.
On a pedestal, yeah.
That this is the image. Linda, even with my fashion designer, I told her initially when she started working with me, I want to challenge this definition of beauty. Instagram, there's this look, you can't have an afro, frontal, what, manala,
Instagram is worse.
So I was telling
all the people on Instagram are fake.
Exactly. I'm intentionally challenging that narrative by not wearing shoes, by wearing whatever the hell, like Steve Biko said, I write what I like, I wear what I like, I sing what I like.
Yeah. So I've heard a lot of artists defending themselves, and they were like, especially Zodo Abantu, because she's the most prominent one now, to give an example. She was like, I'm not your children's role model. I'm not responsible for raising your children. So why are you putting the blame on me? But I asked the question and I said, isn't it that when you put things in public, they are subject to criticism?
Yeah. And they're subject to influence the people who are observing them. So you are, in a way, responsible. Not 100% because people still need to be raised. Teachers still need to do their part. And not what we are saying we must hold celebrities captive. It's just an awareness. I'm in the public eye. What I do influences people. How am I influencing people? There's a jazz artist, Barki Tumimo Khorosi. I was listening to his interview of this. He was saying, whenever he creates music, he always asks himself, what is this music trying to do beyond entertainment? Because he doesn't just want to do music for entertainment. It needs to uplift. It needs to shake something within the human that is listening to it. Because then otherwise, it's just another entertainment, riboni, sharp, bye-bye. You know? Yeah.
So do you regard yourself as a role model?
Automatically, when you're in the public eye, you become somebody's role model. You know, I know so many comments of people once have started sharing the Kabut Unplugged event. Yo, you're my role model. Yo, I love your concepts. Yo, you know. So there is a certain level of role modelship that you have. Mara, as I said, it hostage. It can't be that now you're not a human anymore. It's just unfortunate or mistakes, they happen in front of people.
But then how do you feel about artists who don't want to engage in social issues and political issues because they have the power to amplify the challenges that we are experiencing in the country, in the world?
They're just not there anymore. They're just not there yet. And also, remember, people have to live, Jack. People have to eat. The minute you speak up against something that is happening, an ill that you see, it affects your pocket. Unless you have what people call fuck you money, you cannot really blatantly challenge the system. You can. Now we do it covertly music. There's a song where I say, as black people, we've lost our traditions, and that's why we are not strong as a people, because we've allowed ourselves to be small. So we've allowed other people to dictate, to give us Christianity, to give us different things that were not what our ancestors did. And now we've diluted ourselves. And that's why, as a people, really, because I mean, what's in European museums? It's Egyptian mummies, it's Egyptian tools that they use for divination, for all these things. I mean, as Africans, it's the equivalent of they took the taula jarena. They came here, reaped what they wanted to reap, gave us a mirror, whatever they gave us a Bible, took the land, and that was it. And our strength is gone.
Sure. So what one would think, NTSIKWANE, when you look at her, she's been in the music industry for that long, but she hasn't blown yet. She's not at that level. You know, what is the problem? Yeah. You understand? Is she even making money from this whole thing?
What did she do? She's a soldier.
So there's this thing already. People even use words like he's still, or she's still an upcoming artist. She's still a local artist. So where do you position yourself when in terms of like blowing up? How do you define that?
No, yeah, I'm glad you said, how do you define that? Up to this point, I would say I'm partly responsible for my lack of blowing up. That is, if I still cared about blowing up. Let's put that straight.
Yeah.
That is if I still care about that. Because as I said initially, I really wasn't sure what I was doing. As much as the music was received well, I still wasn't saying and singing what I really wanted to sing. Now that I'm doing that, honestly, the outcome of it is not in my hands. I've literally, I've said, guys, you've called me. These songs, I didn't write them. You gave them to me. If they're meant to go global, let them go global. If they're meant to touch the few people who heard them and change something in them, the trajectory of their life, that's enough.
So, NTSIKWANE, you've been independent for how long?
Since I've started, I've never.
Why
been
are you
signed.
not signing a record deal?
No, man.
There's money, then you can blow up fast.
What's definition of blowing up game?
Have they ever offered you a deal? Someone offered you a deal?
It wasn't a deal, a record deal per se. It was a marketing element of it. But the way they pitched it, it was like a deal. So ultimately, I was like, no. The way they are receiving income from everything that I'll be doing, even though it's not linked to them, that's a record deal, basically.
Sure.
So I'm not gonna sign it.
Yeah.
And usually there's no need when I check. Like honestly, when he's saying he was a slave for the record company because some of these artists sign lifelong records.
Yeah.
Meaning the record company owns you for the rest, as long as you are alive, it owns you. So I can't I would sign something, in terms of publishing, yes. Because if I have a publisher, they can pitch my music to Soapies, to Kai, and more royalties on Pishisha. But not what I have bosses now. This is my record label. I'm going to do. And also record labels, remember, but try or dilute for the masses. They have to dilute you because their goal is to make the most money out of the investment they made.
Sure.
So if you are too niche of an artist where only 1 million out of however many million people on earth will listen to you, that's not enough of an investment for them. They need to literally dilute you. So which means any of the songs that I wrote are not going to make it on the album. They're going to have me singing some poppy,
some pop music that you don't even like.
Yeah. So it's not, even now in the age of internet, it's really not worth it.
Yeah.
Because people underestimate the minimum viable audience that you need. That's another thing we are sold, that you need millions of followers to be. No. Depending on your business, you really have no business having more than a certain, even 50,000 followers because of the type of business you're doing. So that's just also another thing that we need to deconstruct. Followership doesn't necessarily mean quality, doesn't necessarily mean a good thing. Because you find something has a 200 million views and it's the most ridiculous thing on earth.
But it's making money.
You see, why is money a value now? That's also another thing that's leading to the level of greed that we are seeing now, of people always wanting more followers, more gigs, more this, more that, more that. When is it enough?
What was your biggest gig that you have performed at?
The biggest in terms of stature for me, not in terms of numbers, was earlier this year. I was asked to perform at the commemoration year Dr. Miriam Makeba's 80th? No, not 8, can't be 80th. 89th birthday, I think, at UNISA. So that was incredible. That was just to hear her friends, Mama Maralo, Abigail Kubeka, to be in the same room as them, sharing and playing in front of them. That was the biggest.
Since you started your career?
Since I started my career. Because now, that's the thing. Now my brain shame. I got it from my father. I measure things. I measure value differently. I know people would imagine filling up a stadium was the biggest thing I've done.
Sure.
For me, it's the impact. For me, it's the significance of what I've done that counts as a big thing, not necessarily in the numbers.
Yeah. So did it come with a good paycheck though?
No comment. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the way we will close this.
So, but when you started performing, where did you start making your big money, gigs where you started making big money?
It's not until recently, hey, and that is
really,
honestly, that is in exact proportion, as I was chakra hunting. Let me go back there to the energy and the level you exude. I am 100%.
You're swimming.
I'm not even sure. No, not in swimming. It's an energy exchange. Right now, I know what I bring.
Okay.
I know my value. I know my message. So when I quote people, there was somebody that I quoted. They came back to me and said, "Okay, how much for an hour?" That is for an hour. Yo, this is for an hour.
Yeah.
God, okay. What's your budget? So I'm assuming what budget was so low that they were even embarrassed to come back and say, actually, this is what we had for you to perform. So the fact about how much for an hour, I feel the rates an hour, you know. So right now, honestly, because I know the value, I know even the work that I've done on myself. Even I don't know how to say this without it sounding egotistical. You know, when a person has done the work on themselves, the same way that people feel, and I'm not comparing myself to him, feel a certain level of ease around people like Dalai Lama, Mandela.
Mm-hmm.
I believe also my energy contributes to people, not only my voice and music.
1 hour, Pelamana, that's like a whole album.
I
You're
know,
performing
exactly.
a whole
I'm
album.
performing a whole album.
And they don't want to pay for that?
Yeah. They, Not that they didn't want to pay. Obviously, there was, and I understand, and I completely understand. So, and there are certain people where, I did a session called Tabanchu. I was invited. They're coming through for the 2nd of December. It's a group of doctors that really follow me around Go Pretoria. Whatever show I do, literally it's like the whole Sefako Mahato. Meduns, the former Meduns comes to my shows. So they're coming here. They asked me, there's a certain gentleman friend of them that they want to honor and they want to surprise him at my performance. I was like, listen, I'm coming. You don't even need to pay me. Like, you guys are fam. You know, it's not always about the money.
Sure.
There's a relationship that, those people, men, like, you know, their energy has already been exchanged towards me. Like, we just want to support. We're not coming, but we're paying. You can invite 2 people or 3 people from the payment that we did, but we just want to support your work that you're doing. So that's the kind of relationships that I want to build. I don't want to have people that I'm working with. Not that we're going to be friends, but it needs to be a connection that is richer and deeper than a monetary exchange.
Sure.
You know, I remember a gentleman spoke at my dad's funeral, and he was like, that's when I realized the power of not even charity, the power of you doing the work you are meant to do. The charity, I think, at some point in a little jikanyana or guys, give this for that and all of that. And it has its place. But I feel if everybody were doing what they're called to do, everybody would be taken care of. So that guy said, what's about Ntate Raphesu? Ke kgopetse go mo diela garden. Okay, fine. Come do my garden. I think it was before I was born. Our cash I'm peeling yona for Cataloni was the first cash I've ever held in my hands. That day I regile nama because munno umpile employment Cataloni karare. That's how impactful that money was to us as a family. Or we hardly have meat that day because of Cheletam peeling yona go Cataloni. That's when I realized, in actual fact, you don't really consciously have to say, I'm doing charity work. You following your calling is the work you're meant to do. The people you touch are the charity that you're doing. Not necessarily, okay, guys, where are the cameras? Look at me, I'm giving this thing. And that has its place.
Sure.
Mara, majority, I know for a fact, if we were all not trying to follow this trail a society set for us, and we followed our callings, a lot of things will be solved.
Sure. So, but then are you making a living out of music, or there are other things that you are doing?
I'm 100% making a living out of music.
100%. There's no profession, career that you occupy.
Excuse me, is music not a profession?
No. It's different professional career that you occupy besides music.
No, there isn't. Obviously, every here and there, I'm exploring going back to acting. That would be the other thing that I'll be doing. So next year, I'm seriously considering, since I'll be mostly in Gauteng, just going back to my agent and saying, I'm back. Maybe let's go scheme some very soon.
So what was your first? Have you ever appeared on TV?
Yes, I did scheme some last year, actually.
Really?
Yes.
But I think I remember. But the one I remember vividly is the former Miss Limpopo, and some other lady who. With Nikataka, who was a...
Oh, yes, I was doing some theater.
Why don't I remember?
Shame, I don't know.
Yeah, but because Arthur recently, Arthur Masoma, recently, because I know all of those guys. I know all of those guys when they do their debut and whatever. I
remember
notice.
Also that's also something that I've been working on for myself. There's an element in me that says when you share things too much, you're showing off. So I'm learning to adjust that, to say visibility is important, especially if my mission is to counter all the other things that are not really contributing to people's growth. I need to be visible. I need to, when I'm doing things, to say, guys, it's not in an imponing fashion. You need to see this is what I'm doing. This might benefit you kind of way. So it's a thin line that I'm working on, because as you would know, like you're saying, you've never seen me post mang. That's how I like to keep it. I'm not a person who likes to just put out everything wherever I go. All right.
Sure.
Okay, now we go this cam. Okay. And
So no dirang was Kimza.
I was a nurse.
Nurse.
Yeah.
Now, how long did it?
It was 4 episodes.
4
It was so
episodes.
nice.
Ah,
But
that
I
was
shot it in
enough.
one day. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was nice. It
Right.
was really cool. And it was my first acting since I graduated. Even the day I just a show off moment, guys. I'm allowed to show off. Even after the thing, the director was like, "Oh, so when was the last time?" I was like, "The last time I acted was 2010." He's like,
Impossible.
"Dude, this looks like we were just in a production last month.
Yeah.
You mean this? Really?" I'm like, literally, this is the first time I've held a script since 2010.
No, you need to get your agent back so that
Yeah.
we start seeing
No,
you more.
for sure. No,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Listen, 2023 onwards, it's visibility. I think also, Linda, because I'm such a private person, it has been holding me back somewhat in the blowing up.
Are you the type
Because
to take pictures with your fans? I don't see that a lot.
I am. I do post them. I am. They asked to take pictures. I do, Shem. I'm not the... No, guys, I don't take... No, if person says, come, Linda, sometimes I'm like, let's take a picture. And I take a picture. You know?
Yeah, because
picture.
There's a story I heard. I'm not really sure if it is true, that Brashu, the late Brashu Masekela, refused to take pictures with ladies who had weave.
I think it is true. I remember hearing him say it at some point. Yeah, I think it is true.
Yeah, so I was thinking maybe also you have the same thing that
right.
like you don't take pictures with a certain group of people as well, because
never.
this chakra thing runs deep.
No, actually the chakra thing is actually more of everybody. Yes, I'm going to be chakra right now. Everybody is made in the image of God. We have God in us. We are all part of the whole ecosystem. So the more chakra you go into, the more unified you should become. Ideally, it can't be us versus them. Then you're doing something else. If I understand what there's some people where if you are a believer in past lives or that we were here before, maybe something happened previously, or even that Madiali na kwani. That's perfectly fine. But it shouldn't be an aggression. Sabotage.
What's your relationship with Malachi?
Oh, Malachi. I dig Malachi. Like Malachi, his music speaks to me. We've always been talking over the years, because Nali and I, we started probably more or less around the same time. We've always been saying, no, we need to collaborate, and we never do. So now with the Kabut Unplugged that came through, which is sponsored by SAMPRA, South African Music Performance Rights Association. I just need to drop in the sponsor.
So it means you're getting royalties, eh?
So I've always vibed with his music. I believe he's one of the underrated artists, not even in Limpopo, in the country, you know. And I wanted for us to really just start. I actually had a meeting with him. Specifically at Malachi. No. You and I must stop this nonsense of retreating, of chilling, of not even chilling, of not being out. I know we are private people. We are not at a level where we're going to be running around, posting, doing dance challenges, but I told him, please, our music is still needed.
Yeah, because it is really evident. Because I can be honest with you, every time when you see Malachi performing, there's also NTSIKWANE somewhere. Either it's his event or it's your event. There's always Malachi, NTSIKWANE.
No, I think our music speaks to our mission, I think, on earth. Really, to nourish people, to give people hope.
So that he says he wants to stop.
When did he say that?
No, I mean, like you're saying, he felt like he's grown up now.
No, not that. Kira grown up in terms of we mustn't be so doing live personal shows that we forget the online presence. Because
okay.
it doesn't mean we must vibes. What is that challenge? That challenge. It doesn't mean that we must do that because our what we do doesn't even allow for us to do that. Let's not be afraid to get on and show people what
out
we
of
do.
your shell sometimes.
Yeah, get out of your shell sometimes and just be like, hey, I can do
but
this.
then now, did you ever feel like at some point this thing is not working, I'm leaving it?
No, never. It's a calling. How do you resign from a calling? I've
Yeah,
never ever.
people
And
resist,
the fact is, I'm not really part of the industry. One thing that I met Pops Mohammed at an event. He said, stay on the outskirts of the industry. Your career will last longer because then you're not dictated to by the coming and going of trends. You can stick to the music you want to do. And especially now with the advent of social media, I can have clients in the US, I can have clients in the UK and not have to depend solely on the audience that I have. So he was like, stay on the, he even told me, I know South African Music Award winners who are broke, who a week after winning an award that has a cash prize of 250,000 come and say, hey, Uncle Pops, and he's like, dude, but you just won 250K. He's like, no, Marwatseba, you got a record company. Hey, So, industry in a little, its upsides, as you say, you can blow up, but its downsides is that now you really cannot do anything without checking first with somebody else. And what kind of a life is that, where every move that you want to make, even creatively, like right now, if I'd wanted to do something limupedi, Kaya Bucha record company, they'll be like, who's this Mupedi guy? No, you are not doing a song.
You're an award-winning artist. How many awards did you win?
2. Yeah.
Which award event is this?
Music Awards.
Okay, for which songs?
In 2017, it was for Are Ratane. It was a single of mine. And then for 2019, it's for Shoma.
How do you feel about awards? Be honest with me.
Let me be honest. I think any musician who does the kind of work that we do will tell you it's firstly not about awards. There's certain musicians for whom it is about awards, and that's okay. For me, it's just not about the awards. I understand awards add to your stature, on your profile, on your Instagram, on your Gaika, you can say multi. If you notice on my profiles, there isn't anywhere I write musical medicine woman, because that's what I do. Music is medicine for me and for people who listen to it. So, and some of the awards, for me, actually, I'm in two minds, hey? In one mind, the pros and cons of each thing. In one mind, I think the awards voted and give out are good because the people will tell us who they love. In another mind, no. Remember, people follow popular things. You can have a person who does amazing work with 50K followers and a person who's talentless and has 2 million followers.
Sure.
Who's going to win when they're going to ring for
Obviously.
votes?
Yeah.
So that's the downside, the voting, people are voting side. The upside, professionals listening, like the way they do the summer awards, where it's a group of people in the industry who listen to the entries and who decide who's shortlisted, is that they're listening to the musicality, they're listening to production, they're listening to Wangusha. It's a holistic. They're not necessarily looking at popularity. That's why there was an uproar when people didn't know won.
Yeah.
Because they felt like, who's this? But they're known in their circle. Like I followed those people that I didn't know. I went and followed them.
When you start following them, you start
those people
seeing,
are busy. Like people have been, just that they're not
known,
popular.
Yeah.
They do. I saw one person who corporate gigs almost every week they're doing something, they're playing somewhere, they're doing some work somewhere. So just because we don't know that, I think we have this arrogance. If we don't know you, if you're not popular, you shouldn't win an award.
They did that to Chima Music. They did that when you won the Summer Awards. Yeah, they were like, who's Chima Music? And they are doing the same with Problem Child. Recently has joined Black
but
Motion.
who's this?
Who's this person?
So just because you don't know them means they're not quality. That's like you were saying, that's the group think.
Yeah.
No, if we don't know you, then you're not relevant.
So I see Mupedi is here.
Yes.
You are moving to another interview.
Hello, Mupedi. Yes.
Yeah. So are we entering or are we leaving awards alone?
The jury is out. I know we don't have a jury system in, in South Africa,
Yeah.
but the jury is out on that one. I'll see how I feel next year. But what I know for sure, my producer, the way Aratang, the music we produce, point blank, NTSIKWANE awards. Now I'm telling you, enter an album here. For best producer,
Yeah.
for best production.
Sure.
When you don't want to enter, but I'm entering it, Kodisama, for me. You may not enter it for as an artist, but I'm gonna send it through on production side. So, so I told him no. The jury. Now he feels that we're bad awards, but still he understands the level, the industry and how the game works. If you're seen as an award winning, there's an implied value to you.
Yeah, you can add 10,000 to your fee.
So yeah.
Okay, that's great. Joe, we've been talking.
I know. I got little voice. And I still have to
Are you
sing.
going to play something for us?
No.
You know that thing? Did they do this, your parents? Because they knew you could sing, right?
Oh,
when
no,
people came to the house, did they?
No, they didn't. Luckily, they didn't do that too.
Yeah.
Luckily, they didn't do that too. No. We'll do a nice acoustic session later.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Let me get a break.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. NTSIKWANE, man, thank you very much for awarding us an opportunity to capture your story.
I wanted you.
Eh?
I wanted you.
Yeah, no, it's I can use for granting us this opportunity, still okay. For giving us this opportunity,
Yes.
still okay. For affording us this opportunity, still okay.
English.
Right? Yeah, so it depends which word you want to use. As long as it falls into context. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We don't care, some of us. Because we want to accommodate a wider audience, you know?
Yeah.
Right? But anyway, thank you very much, man. I love your work. I love your personality, your character. I love your energy. I think you're beautiful.
Oh, Shakra, brother. I love my energy.
Yeah, I do. It's just that I can't talk about me. This is not about me. But I appreciate you, man. And I think you are a very kind, welcoming, warm person. Sorry. For the fact that you also allowed this to happen says a lot about the kind of person that you are. Because with some people, we really struggle. And I understand people have preferences and choices and whatever. But how they respond to you and how they make their excuses, gets to tell you the kind of person they are, and they're like, bad vibes, right? Yeah, so
Vibes.
Yeah. So it's how you communicate and how you present yourself and what you believe in that really would attract a chakra brother.
Yes.
For 3 months, so
He clearly wasn't a Shakra, brother.
But yeah, I just feel like it was important for us to do this so that the world can know and people can know.
Yeah.
You know, I know you have done like thousands and millions of interviews, but we're a different approach this time around.
Yeah, no, this was amazing. You know, you get the typical questions, the superficial that you can't go deep. Really.
Yeah.
But and you warned me before. We're gonna go deep. We're gonna go deep into the lake.
Cover
But now,
everything.
whatever long form content is really in. Like I've seen the podcasts that I watch. A 2-hour podcast, Mutuar, it could have been longer. What?
Imagine we're on 149 right now.
Because of the content, people are now, since 2020, since this shift, people are hungry for knowledge. People want to escape the suffering. But not even sokolo physically. Within, there's a struggle. There's a fight going on within a lot of people.
Sure.
So information, conversations like this, to hear what people are now wanting to hear that and find some kind of comfort and relief for I'm not alone. So
Sure.
I think this will do well. I predict 1 million viewers within 5 minutes of upload.
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, my name is Jack Rams and this is NTSIKWANE RAPHESU. It has been wonderful chilling with you.
Yeah.
And please don't forget to subscribe,
Wena muthu.
like, comment, and share.
Yes.
And we are out of here. Thank you very much. NTSIKWANE, I wish you all the best, man.
Thank you, man.
Sure.
Thank
and
you for the invite.
your thing is when?
2nd of December. Oh, yes, I did mention it. 2nd of December, right here at Mercedes-Benz, Polokwane, from 8 p.m. till late. We've got Malachi, we've got Mahlatsi Vocal, we've got Elo Blues, we've got Mapaseka, sponsored by SAMPRA, South African Music Performance Right Association. That is that. Come through. Let's vibe on the 2nd of December.
We out.
Yeah.